One of the things that I get asked all the time is it okay for me to use personal content on LinkedIn? And I want to get into the thick of this because I'm quite opinionated on this subject. There are people in both camps. There are people who believe preserving LinkedIn as is absolutely, what it should be. They've been there since day one, and LinkedIn isn't now the platform it used to be. And then there are more recent newcomers or people that have kind of changed their opinion over time and are quite happy for personal content to be involved in LinkedIn. But one of the questions I get asked from my clients all the time is, whilst we're putting out these professional business videos and repurposing our content for maximum effect, how can we share, or should we even share, personal details, personal stories and personal triumphs? So here's where I sit on this, and this is my opinion. Feel free to disagree. I remember LinkedIn as it was pre-COVID, and it certainly was a lot, and I think it's kind of, to be honest, I think it's kind of gone back this way a little bit. It's quite a dry platform at times. When you scan through the news feed, there was lots and lots of, hey, I've been promoted, I'm looking for a job, I've found a job, I've just qualified at a course, we're going to be partners together, here's a case study, here's a white paper, all those sorts of things, which are very business relevant, but also quite dry and I find boring. Sorry, I've said it. However, the personal side of things can also go too far. So I've seen people's feeds and it's full of, here's my children, here's what we did today, here's my food, and it's almost like an Instagram account, right? Like, that's not LinkedIn. That's not what it's for. So I'm a big believer that there's a healthy balance in the middle. And if you're looking for advice on how to do it, I'm going to say that Monday to Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday should be for work posts. Why Sunday? Because there's a lot of us who are in senior leadership who get online on a Sunday afternoon and organise our emails, and we're expecting to see businessy type posts on there at that point. So I actually think Sunday afternoon is, if you're putting content out there, Sunday afternoon is key for most people. It's actually probably the most important day of the week. So Monday and Saturday for personal stuff. And why I say that is it allows you to share some personal information, right? It might be you've completed the 3 Peaks challenge, you've achieved something in your personal life, maybe you've had an extension to your family like I have over the last year, you've gotten married, all those, like, let people see behind the scenes a little bit, because we all know that what gets put out across business accounts tends to be the polished front surface, and that's great. But actually, when we buy from people, we want to know who they are that we're buying from. We want to know a little bit about, there are, in lots of spaces, there are lots of competitive products and services. How you stand apart in that space is by being different. And you're different by being you. Just sharing a little bit of what you believe in, what you don't believe in, what your passions are. And I'm not saying, make it religious or political or polarizing in that way, like, unless you want to. Like, that's absolutely fine. It's not why I go on LinkedIn, but lots of people do. But just don't be afraid to share some of that experience that you have from outside of business. If, like, I talk about ADHD because I'm ADHD, and my son's probably ADHD, and probably so is my other son. And, like, I believe that everybody's on the scale somewhere. I'm super passionate about education. I'm super passionate about leadership. None of that is really relevant to my main business. Doesn't help me connect with clients around video repurposing. It does help them align with me so that when the time is right, if they've got a need, they know they can trust me and come to me because they know who I am, because they've seen it on LinkedIn. So I think there's a balance, and I'd say no more than a couple of posts a week on personal, and even then, maybe not every week, right? But do share your personal stuff on LinkedIn, because it's absolutely valuable to the people who are researching you to buy from you, so they can find out a little bit more about you. How much you want to share, just consider that. What's the dangers of sharing information? What are you going to share? Could it be used maliciously? Just consider all those sorts of things when you're posting stuff out, and make sure you're happy with the risks of whatever you're sharing. But I'd absolutely encourage you to share some of the real person behind the LinkedIn account, so that people can become comfortable with you, align with you, and start to build that trust. And that really does come through that real organic transparency. Hope that's useful for everyone. Gives you a bit of a feel for what I personally believe, but you all will have to make up your own mind as to what's right and what's not. And again, as per last week's video, using this video to create this week's newsletter. Hopefully that means we can get 2 newsletters done in the same day quite quickly, and I will come back to you in the coming weeks and let you know how we got on with this. All right, thanks. Have a great day.